My fiancée posted a photo sitting on her ex's lap captioned "Sometimes you miss the old days." So I listed her ring online, engagement off, make an offer. She found out when her mom called screaming. I was in my workshop at 2:13 a.m. when everything shifted. Not dramatically. Not with some grand revelation. Just a photo on Instagram that made my hand freeze over the Vickers hardness tester I was calibrating. Let me back up. I'm Harry, 29, and I work as a precision instrument technician. Basically, I calibrate the equipment that calibrates other equipment. Microscopes, spectrometers, chronometers, anything that needs to measure down to the molecular level. It requires patience, steady hands, and an obsessive attention to detail. These traits apparently don't translate well to noticing when your fiancé is feeding you lies. Alia and I had been together 3 years and 2 months, engaged for 8. She worked as a vintage textile curator at the City Museum, spent her days analyzing 18th century silk weaves and restoration techniques. Where I dealt in microns and frequencies, she lived in a world of artistic interpretation and historical narrative. We balanced each other, or so I kept telling myself. I handled our wedding spreadsheet with the same precision I brought to work, every vendor, every payment, every RSVP tracked in color-coded columns. She handled the creative vision, the aesthetics, the endless Instagram documentation of our journey to forever. That night, I'd come home late from a service call at a pharmaceutical lab. Their mass spectrometer was reading inconsistent molecular weights, turned out to be a contaminated ion source. Took me 4 hours to isolate and fix. Alia had texted around 9 p.m. that she was heading to her sister Priya's place for wine and wedding planning. I'd thumbs up the message and gotten back to work. Now, at 2 a.m., I was in my home workshop, really just the second bedroom converted into a controlled environment for my personal projects. My hands were steady, my breathing even. The gyroscope I was calibrating needed another 20 minutes to complete its cycle, so I grabbed my phone. Just a quick scroll through Instagram while I waited. Alia's story was posted an hour ago. She was at some house party, not Priya's minimalist apartment. Red Solo cup in hand, that particular smile she got after her third gin and tonic. But that wasn't what stopped my breathing. She was sitting on a brown leather couch, her left thigh draped across someone's knee. The knee belonged to Carter, her ex from 5 years ago. I knew that flannel shirt, that pretentious anchor tattoo on his forearm. Carter, who dumped her senior year of college to focus on his craft brewing dreams and moved to Boulder. Carter, who she'd cried about for 6 months before we met. Carter, who she'd sworn meant nothing anymore when his name came up at our engagement party. The caption read, "Sometimes you miss the old days." I zoomed in. Her hand rested on his chest, fingers spread across the flannel. The way she was looking at him, I'd catalogued that expression before, thought it was reserved for me. The harsh party lighting showed everything. The flush on her neck, his hand on her lower back, the casual intimacy of bodies that knew each other's geography. The timestamp hit me next. 1:07 a.m. When she'd texted me at 9 about going to Priya's, she was already lying. My throat constricted. My jaw clenched so hard I heard my teeth click. But my hands stayed steady. I screenshotted the photo. Then her stories from the past month. Then I went to Carter's profile, public, naturally. The brewery he worked at now? 15 minutes from Alia's museum. Started there 4 months ago as head brewer. His recent posts showed the same gastropub Alia had been discovering every Thursday during her late inventory nights. My chest felt hollow, like someone had scooped out everything between my ribs. But my hands moved with the same precision I used to adjust optical alignments. No shaking. Just systematic documentation. Create folder. Save screenshots. Organize by date. I went back to the original photo. Stared at it until my eyes burned. There was something in the background, other people at the party, faces I recognized. Our mutual friends. People who'd RSVP'd yes to our wedding. People who'd been at our engagement party 3 months ago, toasting to our future. Then I saw it. The comment that turned the hollow feeling into something sharp and cold. Becca, Alia's best friend since freshman year, supposedly my friend too, one of her bridesmaids, the person who'd helped me plan the surprise proposal, had commented 12 minutes after the photo was posted. Not words of surprise or concern that Alia was with her ex. Not a question about why she wasn't at Priya's. Just 3 words and an emoji, "Get a room already," smirking face emoji. The gyroscope beeped, cycle complete. Perfect calibration achieved, margin of error less than 0.0001%. If only relationships came with such precise measurements. I set the gyroscope aside and pulled up my laptop. The screenshot folder needed expanding. Becca's comment meant this wasn't new. Nobody drops that emoji on a first-time thing. This had history, context, inside knowledge. My pulse hammered in my throat, but I forced myself to breathe slowly, deliberately. Same technique I used when handling delicate optical arrays, emotional stability through physical control. I opened an incognito browser and started digging. Alia's Instagram first. I scrolled back 4 months, to when Carter would have started at the brewery. There, a photo of a craft beer flight. Exploring local flavors after work. Tagged, Stonegate Brewing. I'd asked about it that night. She'd said the museum staff went for Dorothy's retirement drinks. I remembered now, I'd offered to pick her up, but she'd said they were all carpooling. 3 weeks later, another brewery photo. Different beers, same wooden table I could now recognize. No mention of coworkers this time. Then I found Carter's post from that same day. Him behind the bar, pouring something amber into a tulip glass. The hand reaching for it in the corner of the frame, Alia's engagement ring caught the light. My ring. The one I'd spent 2 months saving for, custom designed with an Art Deco setting because she'd fallen in love with a 1920s brooch at work. My stomach churned. I walked to the bathroom, splashed cold water on my face. In the mirror, my eyes looked hollow, but my hands remained steady. Back to the laptop. I cross-referenced everything against our shared Google Calendar. The pattern emerged like a developed photograph in solution. Every late inventory night aligned with Stonegate's special release events. Her textile conference in the suburbs matched their anniversary festival. The migraine that kept her from my company dinner? Carter had posted videos from a brewing competition that same night. She'd sent me a selfie from bed that night. Now I noticed the pillowcase wasn't ours. 12 occasions minimum. 12 times she'd looked me in the eye and lied with the same precision I used to adjust laser interferometers. The ring sat on the bathroom counter where she'd left it after her shower yesterday morning. I grabbed my macro lens and photographed it. Every angle, every detail. The inscription inside, measured in moments, not years. God, I'd thought I was being romantic. The tiny scratch on the band from when she'd dropped it getting out of my car. She'd cried that day, terrified she'd ruined it. I'd assured her imperfections made it unique, ours. My throat tightened. I set the camera down, gripped the counter until my knuckles went white. Then back to work. 3:47 a.m. I opened Facebook Marketplace and started typing. Engagement ring for sale. 1.8 carat lab-grown diamond, Art Deco setting, 14K white gold. Worn for 8 months by someone who couldn't keep promises. Engagement ended due to overlap with ex-boyfriend. Make an offer. I attached Alia's Instagram post. The original, unedited, with Becca's comment clearly visible. My finger hovered over the publish button. My parents would see this. Dad always browsed Marketplace for tools. My sister in Phoenix would get tagged by someone. My coworkers would whisper about it for months. Once this went live, there was no taking it back. No couples counseling, no working through it, no pretending things could be fixed. This would be nuclear. But then I thought about her leg across Carter's lap. Becca's knowing emoji. 12 documented lies. Published. The first comment came in 90 seconds. Holy S word, is this real? Then offers started. $500. $1,000. Someone offered $2,500 just for the story behind it. My phone lit up, Mom calling. I declined. She called again. I texted, I'm okay. We'll explain tomorrow. Then I muted her notifications. Dad would be next, then my sister Kara. Not yet. I couldn't handle their sympathy yet. While the Marketplace notifications poured in, I opened another tab. My wedding spreadsheet, the one I'd maintained because Alia was too creative for Excel. Every vendor, every payment, every detail tracked with the same obsessive precision I brought to my work. Venue, Rosewood Botanical Garden, $4,500 deposit. Florist, Giuseppe's Garden, $1,800 deposit. Photographer, Constantine, $2,000, engagement shoot completed, wedding package pending. Catering, Della Rosa, $3,200 deposit. String quartet, $800 deposit. Guest list, 127 confirmed, 14 maybes. Plus my groomsmen's coordinated watches I'd already bought. The honeymoon flights to Tokyo. The apartment deposit we'd put down for a bigger place. All those hours of planning. Alia's mother Gloria calling weekly with suggestions that were actually demands. The tasting menus where Alia had insisted on the most expensive options. The color-coded seating chart she'd spent 3 weekends perfecting while I nodded along, thinking this was what love looked like. I copied every email address. Every vendor contact. The massive family group chat Gloria moderated like a UN summit. The wedding party thread where Alia's bridesmaids had been discussing dress colors for 2 months. My groomsmen's chat where we'd been planning the bachelor party. I drafted one message. No explanation, no drama, no details. Just the marketplace link and 4 words, cancel everything. Harry. My mouse hovered over send. Once this went out to 200 plus people, Alia's betrayal wouldn't be our private failure. It would be public record. Her mother would implode. The vendors would talk. Everyone would know by breakfast. I pulled up the family WhatsApp one more time. Gloria's last message from yesterday, can't wait to officially call you son. Below it, my mom had replied, we're gaining a wonderful daughter. My phone buzzed. The marketplace listing had hit 50 shares. A text from my best friend and best man, Theo, bro, is this real? Are you okay? Time to hit send on the emails. I hit send at 4:02 a.m. The email went out to everyone simultaneously. Venue coordinator, florist, photographer, the entire guest list, both family group chats. The same message with the marketplace link. Cancel everything. Harry. For 30 seconds, nothing. Just the quiet hum of my equipment and the tick of notifications from the ring listing. Then my phone exploded. Gloria called first. I watched her name flash on the screen, let it go to voicemail. She called again immediately. Then again. By the 4th call, she'd figured out I wasn't answering and switched to texts. Harry, what is this? Answer your phone. This must be a mistake. Harry, please. What did she do? 8 calls in 5 minutes. I set my phone to silent and placed its screen down on my workbench. Then my mom started calling. Dad. Kara from Phoenix. Theo. My groomsmen group chat lit up like a pinball machine. I sent one message to the guys, it's real. I'm handling it. Talk tomorrow. Then muted them too. My laptop showed the real show. The marketplace listing was spreading through our social circle like flame through accelerant. Comments poured in from people I hadn't spoken to since high school. The share count hit 100, then 200. Someone tagged Alia. Someone else tagged Carter. Giuseppe, the florist, emailed back first. Just one line, I knew something was wrong when she changed the flowers 3 times. Deposit is non-refundable. The venue coordinator from Rosewood Botanical Garden was more diplomatic. I'm so sorry to hear this. Please call our office during business hours to discuss the cancellation policy. Constantine, the photographer, sent, brother, I saw them at Stonegate 2 weeks ago. Didn't know how to tell you. Your deposit converts to credit for any future shoot. Use it when you find someone real. My chest tightened. Constantine had known. How many others? The family WhatsApp erupted. Priya, Alia's sister, what the hell is happening? Gloria's sister Marion, is this some kind of joke? Alia's father Raymond, usually silent in the chat, wrote his first message in 3 months, Harry, son, let's talk about this. My dad finally broke into the chat, Harry is handling this appropriately. Please respect his decision. God bless Dad and his military brevity. I opened another window to watch the marketplace listing. Offers climbed. $3,000. $3,500. Someone in Seattle offered $4,200 and said they'd pay for overnight shipping. But the comments were the real spectacle. This is the most savage thing I've ever seen. Bro deserves better. Alia, you fumbled hard. Team Harry. That Becca comment though, skull emoji. Then Becca herself commented, Harry, this is psychotic. Take this down. I screenshotted that too. Psychotic? Interesting word choice from someone who'd been enabling the affair. My hands trembled slightly, first time all night. I made a fist, released it, regained control. More emails poured in. The string quartet leader, we're very sorry to hear this. Full refund will be processed Monday. Della Rosa, the catering company, Mr. Harry, we understand. Given the circumstances, we'll refund 75% of your deposit. The remaining 25% covers work already completed. Check will be mailed this week. My groomsmen started texting individually, ignoring my request to wait. Theo, need me to come over? Carlos, say the word and I'm there. Warren, already canceled the Vegas reservations. Got your back. 4:47 a.m. The ring listing hit 500 shares. Someone had cross-posted it to the city's Reddit page with the title, "Local man's nuclear revenge on cheating fiancé, still live." My phone, even on silent, lit up constantly. The missed call count passed 50. I picked it up to check if Alia had seen it yet. She was typing. The 3 dots appeared and disappeared. Appeared again. Vanished. This went on for 3 minutes. Then 4. Then 5. My jaw ached from clenching. Finally, "Harry, please answer your phone." 10 seconds later, "This is a misunderstanding." 30 seconds after that, "You put our ring on the internet?" Interesting progression. Pleading, denial, then outrage about the ring. Not about the photo. Not about Carter. About the ring being public. Gloria started her damage control. I could see her active in the family chat, trying to calm the chaos. "Everyone please stay calm. This is between Harry and Alia. I'm sure it's a misunderstanding." Marion responded, "Gloria, did you see the photo? Her leg is across that boy's lap. Alia's cousin Rashida from Phoenix, isn't that Carter? The brewery guy she kept mentioning?" My mom chimed in, "There's no misunderstanding. The photo is clear." Dad added, "We support Harry completely." The marketplace listing hit $5,000. Someone claiming to be a collector of karma stories offered $5,500 and said they'd frame the receipt. My hands were steadier now. The initial shock was morphing into something colder, more focused. I pulled up my banking app, checked the wedding savings account we'd been building. My contributions, $18,000. Hers, $3,200. I screenshotted that too. My doorbell camera sent an alert. I pulled up the app, expecting maybe a neighbor complaining about my workshop lights. It was Alia. At 5:23 a.m., standing at my apartment building's entrance. Hair messy, still in the same clothes from the party. She was holding her phone in one hand, her car keys in the other. Her face was blotchy, mascara smudged, but not from tears, from rubbing her eyes. I'd seen that look before when she pulled all-nighters at the museum. She pressed the intercom button. "Harry, I know you're awake. Let me in." I watched her type something on her phone. My phone buzzed, "I can see your workshop light on." She looked directly at the camera. "I'm coming up. We need to talk." She still had the building fob. She still had the key to my apartment. Or did she? I'd changed the smart lock code at 4:30 a.m. Old habit from work, always have a contingency plan before running any test. Through the doorbell camera, I watched Alia swipe her fob at the building entrance. The door clicked open. She disappeared inside. 2 minutes later, I heard her footsteps in the hallway. The jingle of keys. The electronic beep of the lock rejecting her code. "What?" Her voice, muffled through the door. She tried again. Another rejection beep. Then the pounding started. "Harry, open the door." I put on my noise-canceling headphones and returned to my workbench. Had a beautiful Rolex chronometer movement from 1972 that needed cleaning. Intricate work. Required total focus. My hands wanted to shake, I could feel the tremor trying to start, but I breathed deep, steadied them. The movement deserved better than my emotional spillover. "I know you're in there. Your car's in the garage." The movement had 27 joules, each one a potential failure point if not properly maintained. I applied the cleaning solution with a brush thinner than an eyelash. My phone screen lit up with text from Alia. "This is my apartment too. I have belongings inside. You can't lock me out. Harry, this is illegal?" Interesting. We'd moved in together 18 months ago, but the lease was in my name only. She'd insisted on keeping her studio apartment for creative space, though she'd been subletting it to her yoga instructor friend for 8 months. I'd paid every month of rent here. Every utility. She'd contributed to groceries sometimes. Through the door, her tone shifted. "Baby, please. Let me explain. You don't understand what you saw." My chest tightened. "Baby." She'd called Carter that once, in college, in front of me when we first met. Said it was habit. Old patterns die hard, apparently. I examined the chronometer's balance wheel under magnification. Perfect oscillation. No variation. Unlike people, mechanical things behaved predictably. It was just nostalgia. We were at Ronnie's party and Carter was there and we were just remembering college. That's all. I pulled up Instagram on my laptop. Checked who Ronnie was. One of Carter's brewing buddies. Posted about the party yesterday afternoon. Carter had commented, "Can't wait, got someone special coming." 5 hours before Alia texted me about Priya's. The pounding got louder. Harry. This is insane. It's 6 in the morning. My phone lit up, Theo calling. Then Carlos. I texted the group, she's here. Don't come. I've got this. Theo replied instantly, you sure? Yes. Making her a tenant problem, not Amy problem. Mrs. Vera across the hall opened her door. I could hear her through my doorbell camera's audio. Excuse me, young lady. People are sleeping. I'm so sorry, Alia's voice pitched higher, performing now. My fiancé locked me out. We had a misunderstanding. At 6 a.m.? Perhaps you should come back later. It's my apartment. Is your name on the lease? Silence. Mrs. Vera, 73, retired librarian, Facebook warrior, continued, young lady, I may be old but I'm not blind. I saw that photo of you draped over that tattooed boy. Your engagement ring quite visible while you're feeling up another man's chest. Harry's a good boy. He fixes my kitchen scale every month. Perhaps you should have thought about consequences before. My throat constricted. I'd never told Mrs. Vera about fixing her scale. She'd noticed. Alia's composure cracked. That's none of your business. Neither is my sleep, apparently. I'm calling building security. A door closed. Alia resumed pounding. Harry. Open up before security comes. This is humiliating. My phone buzzed. The marketplace listing had a new offer, $8,500. The message read, I went through the same thing last year. Worth every penny for the karma. Immediate payment available. Then another text, from my mom, Alia is calling me. I'm not answering. Dad, she called me too. Blocked her. Kara, same. Stay strong. Alia's texts became frantic. Security is coming. This is embarrassing. Harry, please. We're supposed to get married. 3 years, Harry. 3 years. She tried another approach through the door. I know you're hurt. I get it. But this, more pounding, this is cruel. Talk to me like an adult. An adult. Like she'd acted when she chose to lie 12 times. When she chose Carter's party over our wedding planning. I texted her one thing. Just the screenshot of Becca's comment. Get a room already, smirking face emoji. Silence. Then, barely audible, oh God. Her voice cracked completely, she was joking. Becca has that sense of humor. You know her. She says things like that to everyone. My phone buzzed. A text from Becca, Harry, I'm so sorry. I didn't think you'd see it. I thought you didn't follow Alia's stories anymore. I screenshotted that too. So Becca knew I wasn't supposed to see. They all knew. Building security arrived. Through the camera, I watched Paul, the weekend guard, approach. Good guy, former Marine, always asked about my work. Ma'am, I need you to come with me. I live here. The leaseholder has revoked your access. You need to leave. This is illegal. I have rights. You have the right to contact the police if you believe this is unlawful eviction. But right now, you're trespassing and disturbing residents. Multiple noise complaints. Alia looked directly at my doorbell camera. Tears now, but the angry kind. Mascara finally running. You're going to regret this, Harry. That ring is legally mine. It was a gift. Ma'am, now. Paul escorted her away. I watched through the app as they walked to the elevator. He was speaking quietly to her, professional but firm. As the doors closed, she was typing furiously on her phone. My laptop dinged. The $8,500 offer came with a payment link. Verified. Legitimate. One click and the money would transfer instantly. Another notification popped up. An email from a name I didn't recognize. Subject line, legal notice, demand for return of property. The body started, Dear Mr. Harrison, I represent Ms. Alia Reeves in the matter of the engagement ring currently being sold on Facebook Marketplace. This ring is the legal property of my client. I checked the timestamp. 6:15 a.m. The sender, Preston Fitzgerald, Esquire. She'd already contacted a lawyer. At 6:15 a.m. on a Saturday. Or had she? I read the legal notice while cleaning the chronometer. Standard intimidation language. The ring was a gift, gifts can't be revoked, return it immediately or face legal action. Signed by someone calling themselves Preston Fitzgerald, Esquire. I googled Preston Fitzgerald. No bar association listing. The email came from a Gmail address. The letterhead was a template from Microsoft Word. Alia's father Raymond was a real estate agent. This was probably his brother-in-law who'd done a semester of law school before dropping out to sell supplements. Still, I forwarded it to my cousin Ramon, an actual property lawyer who'd gotten me out of a bad contract with an equipment supplier once. Back to the marketplace. The $8,500 offer was waiting. I clicked accept. The payment processed instantly. Notification confirmed, $8,500 deposited to my account. Then I did something that required the same precision I used when handling radioactive calibration sources. I created a new Facebook account. Generic name, no photo. Logged into the marketplace with it. Found my own listing, still live, still accumulating comments and shares. I offered $8,501. As the seller, I received the offer on my main account. I accepted my own offer. Then, using the money that just hit my account, I paid myself. The ring was officially sold, to me, from me, full circle. Clean paper trail showing the ring had been purchased post-breakup. But I wasn't keeping it. At 7:45 a.m., I showered, dressed in my good jeans and the polo shirt Alia always said made me look too suburban, and drove downtown. My hands gripped the steering wheel tighter than necessary. The ring box sat in my cup holder, innocent looking for something about to become evidence. The Harbor House Women's Shelter opened at 8 o'clock. I stood outside with the ring box, watching the sunrise reflect off the windows. My reflection looked calm. Inside, my stomach churned. Dolores, the fundraising coordinator, unlocked the door. Mid-50s, gray streaks in her black hair, kind eyes behind thick glasses. We're not quite open. Oh honey, are you okay? I'm perfect, I said, and realized I meant it. I have a donation. She led me to her office, walls covered with thank you letters, photos of families who'd rebuilt their lives. I placed the ring box on her desk and explained, engagement ended this morning, ring has bad energy, would like it to help women starting over. Dolores opened the box. Her eyes widened. This must be worth $8,500 according to the internet. You can auction it at your gala next month. Sir, we'd need board approval for a donation of this size. It could take days. Can you give me a receipt now showing intent to donate? Make it official, process the actual donation whenever you need to? She studied my face. Bad breakup? The worst kind. The kind where everyone knew but you. Her expression softened. Let me make a call. She dialed someone, spoke quickly. Director's approval for immediate processing, she said, hanging up. She's been cheated on too. We're making an exception. She pulled out letterhead, wrote a detailed receipt. I asked if we could take a photo together, her holding the ring, both of us smiling. She obliged, confused but gracious. You're sure about this? She asked. Once I enter this in our system, it's official. No takebacks. Process it now. Please. While she entered the donation into their system, my phone buzzed continuously. Gloria had started a full offensive in the family chat. Marion was defending me. Priya was trying to stay neutral. Raymond posted a single message, Harry, let's resolve this quietly. My dad responded, nothing to resolve. Your daughter resolved it with her choices. Ramon texted back about the legal notice, LOL. That's not even close to legally binding. Engagement rings are conditional gifts in our state. Condition was marriage. No marriage, no gift. She has zero claim. Also, Preston Fitzgerald isn't a real lawyer. Want me to respond? Not yet, I texted back. Might get a real one soon. Dolores handed me the receipt. Official letterhead, tax ID number, her signature, the director's signature, the works. I took a photo of it, then another of Dolores holding the ring with a genuine smile. Can I post about this? She asked. Our social media could use a boost. Give me 30 minutes. I sat in my car, composing the family message. Deleted 5 drafts. Too angry. Too hurt. Too much explanation. Finally, I kept it simple. At 9:15 a.m., I posted to the family WhatsApp. First, the photo of Dolores with the ring. Then the receipt. Then this message. Alia's engagement ring has been donated to Harbor House Women's Shelter. They'll auction it at their gala next month. Tax-deductible receipt attached. This matter is now closed. Gloria's response was instant. Harry, you cannot do this. Marion, he just did. My mom, proud of you. Then Alia called. I didn't answer. She called again. I watched it ring out. A text from Theo, dude, Alia's at Stonegate. My buddy just sent me a photo. I know, I replied. Let her explain that to her parents. Ramon texted, 3 real lawyers have contacted me saying they rep Alia. I'm responding to all of them with the same case law. This is fun. My phone rang. Unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answered. Mr. Harrison? This is Francine Gladwell from Gladwell and Associates. I represent Ms. Alia Reeves. We need to discuss the immediate return of her property. I pulled up the firm on my phone. Real Dallas firm. Real lawyer. Bar number checked out. Ms. Gladwell, I said, I'm sure you're aware of Murphy v. Collins. A pause. I'm listening. Ms. Gladwell, I said, watching the coffee shop's morning rush begin. The ring has been donated to charity. I have a receipt. That's theft, Mr. Harrison. The ring was a gift to my client. Conditional gift. I'm sure you're familiar with Murphy v. Collins, 2019. State Supreme Court. Engagement rings are conditional upon marriage. No marriage, no gift. Silence. Then, you seem prepared. I calibrate precision instruments for a living. I measure things properly. My client is prepared to reimburse you for the ring's cost. It's already been donated. Harbor House has processed it. We'll seek an injunction. On what grounds? I sold my property and donated the proceeds. Unless you're suggesting a charity should suffer because your client couldn't honor a monogamous relationship? A longer pause. Mr. Harrison, let's be practical. This public spectacle helps no one. I disagree. It's helped me tremendously. Have a good day, counselor. I hung up and forwarded the call log to Ramon with a question mark. His response was immediate. Gladwell is real but she's bluffing. No judge would order a charity to return a donation over this. Want me to handle it? Please. Within 10 minutes, Ramon sent a formal response to Gladwell's firm, citing 3 cases, the state statute on conditional gifts, and a pointed note about potential harassment charges if contact continued. He CC'd me with a note that should end it. My phone buzzed. Giuseppe, the florist. Harry, I've reconsidered. Full refund coming. You're a good man. That woman changed the flowers 3 times because she couldn't decide what Carter would like. I should have told you. My chest tightened. Even Giuseppe had known. The venue coordinator from Rosewood Gardens, the board held an emergency meeting. Given the circumstances and the charitable donation, we're returning your full deposit. Check will be mailed Monday. Constantine, your deposit is being refunded too. Also, I'm deleting the engagement photos from my portfolio. You deserve better memories. By noon, I'd received confirmations for $7,300 in refunds. Not everyone refunded. Della Rosa kept 25%, the string quartet kept half. Fair enough. But most vendors seemed personally offended by Alia's behavior. Gloria tried one last offensive. She called from Priya's phone, thinking I'd answer. Harry, sweetheart, I know you're hurt but... Gloria, she was with Carter. Multiple times. While planning our wedding. People make mistakes. 12 times isn't a mistake. It's a pattern. The ring was my grandmother's design inspiration. The ring I paid for entirely? The one I designed? That ring? You're destroying our family. No, Gloria. Alia did that when she chose Carter over our future. I'm just refusing to pretend otherwise. She hung up. Harbor House posted about the donation at 2 p.m. Within an hour, it had 10,000 likes. Comments poured in, stories of betrayal, redemption, starting over. The shelter's donation page crashed from traffic. Dolores called. Harry, someone just offered $15,000 for the ring because of the story. Our gala isn't for 6 weeks. Could we auction it online instead? It's yours. Do whatever helps most. You've changed lives today. I want you to know that. 3 months later, I stood in my workshop, calibrating a 1960s marine chronometer I'd bought with the vendor refunds. Outside, October rain drummed against the windows. My phone sat silent on the bench. I'd deleted most social media, kept only what I needed for work. The apartment felt different now. Cleaner. Quieter. I'd turned Alia's creative space into a proper library, filled it with technical manuals and the sci-fi novels she'd always mocked. The bathroom held only my things. The kitchen organized by function, not aesthetics. Ramon had sent an update that morning. Gladwell's firm had dropped everything after 1 week. Alia had tried 2 more lawyers, both declined after reviewing the case law. She'd moved back to her studio apartment, the one she'd been subletting. The twist came from Carter's actual girlfriend, Monique. She'd found out everything through the viral marketplace post. Turned out Alia wasn't Carter's only nostalgic connection. Monique exposed everything on TikTok, screenshots, timelines, 3 different women Carter was juggling. The brewery fired him for bringing negative attention to their brand. Alia had texted me once, 6 weeks after everything, "I hope you're happy." I didn't respond. But I was. Harbor House sent me updates. The online auction had exploded. The winning bidder, a tech entrepreneur named Gail who'd been cheated on herself, paid $22,000. Then she donated it back. The shelter auctioned it again. And again. 5 times total, raising $34,000. But the final photo made everything worth it. At the gala, they'd given the ring to Teresa and Jerome, 2 shelter survivors who'd met in the recovery program and fallen in love. The photo showed them at their small wedding in the shelter's garden. Teresa wore a simple dress, Jerome in a borrowed suit. The ring, my ring, Alia's ring, sparkled on Teresa's finger as she held Jerome's hand. Dolores had written, "Teresa wanted you to know, this ring that came from betrayal now represents trust rebuilt. She and Jerome understand what it means to choose each other after surviving the worst." My phone buzzed. A friend request from Teresa, with a message, "Thank you for giving me something beautiful from something painful. This ring reminds me every day that leaving a bad situation can lead to something better." I accepted the request, typed back, "It was meant for someone who understands commitment. Looks like it finally found the right person." Then I set the phone aside and returned to the chronometer. The mechanism was clean now, keeping perfect time. Every gear meshing precisely, every jewel in place, everything working as designed. My workshop door was open. Mrs. Vera knocked on the frame, holding a container. "I made too much soup," she said, the same excuse she used twice a week now. "Thanks, Mrs. Vera. How's your kitchen scale?" "Perfect. Like the young man who fixed it." She paused. "That Teresa girl, she looks happy." "She does. You do too. Different happy, but still happy." She was right. This wasn't the happiness I'd planned, the wedding, the marriage, the life with Alia. This was something else. Quieter. Steadier. Mine. I worked until midnight, the chronometer's movement now pristine. As I placed it in its case, I thought about precision. About measurement. About knowing exactly when something is calibrated correctly. The most precise measurement I ever made was the exact moment I chose myself. And unlike that ring, that measurement would never belong to anyone else. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.